Tjena, Leo here. So, here is something that everybody wants to know. How can I learn Swedish? How can I learn Swedish online? What resources are out there to help me learn Swedish online? What kind of resources do I need? How do I use them? And how do I smash the like button? That one is pretty easy, just down below. But jokes aside, there's a bunch of resources out there that you can use to learn Swedish. There's dictionaries, videos, books, movies, apps, courses. And in this video, we will tell you all about them and which are the best, or at least which are our favorites. So let's get going. Small disclaimer, I wanted to let you know that we have no association with any of these resources, except the obvious ones, right? The ones that we made. Most of these I just used myself when I was learning Swedish, and I wanted to share them with you so that you can learn with them as well. So let's start with the first category, dictionaries. I know, this is not the most fun category of all, but it's a very useful one. I'm not suggesting that you just spend hours reading random words in the dictionary or reading all of them in alphabetical order, but having a dictionary at hand, and a good one, is very helpful when you are going through any of the other resources. You find the word you don't really understand and then you can look it up in one of these dictionaries. The first one I use, and probably my favorite, is Lexin. Lexin is a dictionary for non-English speakers. So I speak Spanish, that's my mother tongue, but you can also find translations to Arabic, French, and a bunch of other languages. The cool thing with Lexin is that you can search both ways. And it also has an audio function right here that can help you with pronunciation. Plus some of the tools. For words with many different meanings, this one is pretty good. Since some translators can be pretty bad with these kind of words, and Lexin often gives you just enough alternatives, though like a complete picture of how the word could be translated, and then maybe based on the context you can make some sense of it. Then we have a second dictionary, and that one is Folkets lexikon. Folkets lexikon, which stands for the People's Dictionary, is basically Lexin but for English to Swedish, because Lexin doesn't have the English functionality. Those were the ones that I used in the very beginning, and I of course would highly recommend. One that I wouldn't recommend is Google Translate. Sorry, Google. Google Translate has some issues when it comes to Swedish. There's these words we talked about that have maybe more than one meaning at the same time. And Google Translate in Swedish in particular is not good enough to be able to discern between these two. So you might get some very weird translations to some words. So then again, those were the ones that I used when I was a very beginner. Now, when you come to a next level, when you become intermediate or maybe even advanced, you can start using some other dictionaries. Then you could start using SAOL, the Svenskas Akademis ordlistan. The thing with SAOL is that all the explanations of this dictionary are in Swedish because it's a Swedish to Swedish dictionary. So the good thing is that all Swedish words are here. If you try to find lagom, for example, in a dictionary like Folkets lexikon, you're not really gonna find a good answer. But if you go into the SAOL, then you're gonna get a good explanation, but you're gonna need to read it in Swedish. And then also for the advanced, but sort of funnier version of things, here we have another dictionary, Swedish to Swedish, which is called Slangopedia, which of course, you guessed it, is a dictionary for slang. So if you ever wanna learn some slang, or maybe you hear some slang and you can't really find it in the Svenska Akademis ordlistan, Slangopedia is gonna be your friend. One feature I love from Slangopedia is that these have this randomize button. There are some Swedish slang words that are really hilarious and some are just messed up. Like, why do we have a word for olla and why do we have grunka? I don't know. What? Oh, we can't show those? Oh, we can't? No. Yeah, don't search olla and definitely don't search grunka. Moving on, the next category is video stuff. If you enjoy watching videos, here are a couple of fun resources you can use for learning Swedish. First, and like always, we start with the beginners. You have Barnkanalen. Barnkanalen, literally the children's channel. Barnkanalen is the children's channel here in Sweden. And they have lots and lots of TV shows for kids. From the very basic, like shows for 2-year-olds, to like more complicated stuff. I personally started learning Swedish by watching Hurra för Kalle. I personally watched like 45 episodes of that thing in the very beginning. Unfortunately, I don't think they have this one available anymore, since they rotate a lot. But I would say just find a TV show that you can tolerate watching, sit down and take it in. Part of the language learning is subconscious. But the great thing with Barnkanalen is that they always have Swedish subtitles. If you press here, you can have subtitles in Swedish. And here is where the dictionaries come in. If they say a word that you don't understand, you can just pause the video, read the word in the subtitle, go to Lexin or Folkets lexikon, type in the word and get a translation back. That way you can start understanding more and more. And just like Barnkanalen, but a bit more advanced, we have SVT Play. Here you can find actual content that you might actually want to watch. Just put on Swedish subtitles, sit down and take it in. You will be training your ear and learning some new vocabulary along the way. You just need to find a series or a TV show or a documentary that you want to watch. And since we are in the video category, of course, and we are here on YouTube, we have to mention YouTube. Besides subscribing to our channel and hitting that notification bell, which I'm sure you already did, if you haven't done it, then time to do it right now. And as you progress in your Swedish, you're gonna wanna find maybe a Swedish YouTuber, someone not that speaks about Swedish, but that speaks in Swedish about a topic that you might find interesting. Again, to hit that subconscious part of your brain and do it in a fun and engaging way that's fun and engaging for you. Something that you can listen for a few hours every week or every day, I don't know. And of course, last but not least, another great video-based resource for learning Swedish are our video courses. We have video courses ranging from 100% beginner to upper intermediate. Each course has between 12 and 15 hours of fun Swedish lessons, in which we talk everything about grammar, pronunciation, culture, all you want to know about Sweden and the Swedish language. I really recommend that you check them out. I think they will greatly speed up your Swedish learning. Check the link in the description, and maybe there's also like a link here. Plus, if you use the discount code SWEDTUBE, you're gonna get a 10% discount in any video course you buy, or maybe a video course package. Now back to the video. The next thing you can use for learning Swedish are books. Again, assuming you're living in Sweden, Sweden has a great library system. Just go into their website, biblioteket.stockholm.se, and here you can search for whatever book you want. Let's say we type in Swedish grammar. And then you click on whatever book you like. Here's one I really love from Åke Wiberg, who also has this same book in different languages. And there, you can see where the book is available. Then you just go there to the library and loan the book. And when it's time to return it, you can return it in any of the 50 different libraries, so it becomes really convenient. I personally just like loaning lots and lots of grammar books from the libraries in the very beginning. That way you don't have to buy them and you can maybe use 5 different grammar books instead of only 1. Some people suggest reading children's books. That wasn't really my thing, I didn't really do it, but if you wanted, you could do that as well. Or I don't know, maybe you are a bit more advanced and you are a really big Harry Potter fan, then you could go to the library, rent Harry Potter in Swedish and get an excuse to read it again. And of course, last but not least, another way of learning Swedish is attending a course. It could be a live course in person or it could be a live course online. These courses will help you understand the structure of the language, because you're going to be consuming so much content, looking Barnkanalen, reading books. You are going to be getting in a lot of Swedish, but to make more sense of it, and especially when you're going to want to make your own sentences, then it's good to have sort of an underlying understanding of structure and grammar and how things work. Assuming you're living in Sweden and you have a personnummer or a samordningsnummer, then you can attend one of the free courses provided by the state, which are called SFI, SVA or SAS typ. SFI means Svenska för invandrare, so Swedish for immigrants, and it's the first level of Swedish learning you can get. Again, those are free to take, they're not really gonna cost you anything, but the quality is a bit hit or miss. You might get a really good teacher who invites you to learn, motivates you to learn the language, or you might get one that's just there watching the clock, dreading every day of having to teach Swedish and making you hate the language as well. So it's a bit of a gamble, you never know. Overall, I did all of SFI and most of SAS, and I had an okay experience. There is definitely room for improvement there, but we will leave that topic for another video. But if you don't have a personnummer, or if you're just looking for a more fun alternative to learning Swedish and having a live course, then you could try the courses from Enjoy Learning and Never Stop, which we always say in short ILANS, is the name of the company behind Fun Swedish. We have a bunch of courses starting very soon, so click on the link below if you're interested in joining one of our courses. We have live courses starting at least 4 times a year, and we also provide Swedish for companies. So if you're working in a Swedish company here in Sweden, maybe your employer is pretty cool and they might consider having Swedish lessons at work, as a benefit. Then they can hire us and we will send a great teacher who will have fun and engaging lessons the Fun Swedish way at work for you and your colleagues. So that was it for today. I hope you find some of these resources useful. I'm pretty sure we missed some of them, but this is at least our favorites. What are your favorites? Let us know in the comments down below. Share it with the rest of the community so that they can also keep on learning Swedish in a faster, better, more efficient and a bit more fun way. Hej då!